Fredericton South and Leader's Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank, through you, the Minister for Post-Secondary Education and Labour for his recruitment update on nurses and on the nurses' resource strategy. It's good news that 24 additional seats are being funded at UNB Fredericton for nurses. I hope that this time around there's sufficient funding allocated for the clinical part of their education, which seemed to have been part of the problem the last time around, that the nursing seats that were there were not all utilized because of lack of funding for clinical training. So I'm assuming the minister has corrected that problem and we won't see another problem like that arising, which would be good. But Mr. Speaker, the key thing is to ensure that we retain those graduates. And you look at what happens when nurses graduate, they have high debt. Some go to the United States because of high-paying jobs down there and to help them pay off their debt, Mr. Speaker. Some go to our competing provinces, PEI or Nova Scotia or Quebec, because of the salary, the working conditions, the benefits, the bonuses that are available. Now, the economies and the demographics in PEI and Nova Scotia are not much different than ours. Yet, those provinces have strategies that better compensate nurses, and young nurses are headed to our surrounding provinces to build their lives because they've got a better offer than has been provided in New Brunswick. So these are important things that have got to be addressed. We have to address salaries, we have to address benefits, we have to address working conditions. This is why young people after they graduate are leaving, Mr. Speaker, besides the fact there's no vision for the future of this province and this government. But this is exactly what's going on. It's not a language issue, Mr. Speaker. I really am disappointed in the Premier using that to kind of reinforce the destructive narrative in social media that's out there. And that's just what he's done, suggesting that's driving people out of the province. Mr. Speaker, I know a young graduate from one of our education faculties whose dream was to teach French and French immersion. And you know where she's doing that, Mr. Speaker? Alberta. Teaching French immersion in Alberta, not here. So I think it's time to really take a close look at why young people, when they graduate, are leaving. But I will say, Mr. Speaker, young people also are returning to New Brunswick, and that's a positive story, a very positive story, contributing to the future of our province, contributing a really positive and green vision to this province, and we should celebrate that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.